surface sounds. I've got like that board that runs over the bathtub, and I almost can't spin spinners on there because it resonates so loud between the wood, the bathtub frame, and like it just, if it's ceramic, it's like, it's so loud.
Ceramic is horrible. It's a horrible material, really, when it comes down to it. For anything that you're afraid of breaking or it scratches like metal does, it's just not a fun surface for us, especially glass.
I don't know if I've seen that one, the cat.
I didn't even put them all out, but I just figured I'd give a little sampling.
Yeah.
I know people want to.
X-Lock. Lottie. All this down here in the bottoms, and
There'll never be another like this.
Yes. Yeah, right. 2. It's a rare sighting.
Even my buddy Charlie, when he got rid of all of his stuff,
yeah, I asked him. He held on to
he
him.
did not get rid of the puffer
He's
crash.
like, that's actually what I'm keeping. I was like, of course it is.
And it
it
literally
was like
is.
Lottie stuff, like this much, and he's keeping the puffer crash. Yep. Diamond's cool.
Most people are really into his like patterns, but to me it's his animals that really hits me in the right spot.
Oh yeah, he's a great artist,
and he just has so much character he puts into his pieces too.
Yep. OG shuffle.
OG shuffle.
I really don't know the difference in all of them. And it's like bearings and tolerances and magnets. And
magnets are super light in this one, and making the body in copper. A lot of people were just literally pulling them apart without realizing it and ripping right through the screw.
Oh wow.
But that actually has happened in all of the models. I've had people who have contacted me being like, what do I do? And all I can say is like, don't break your pieces, you know? Like, what are you gonna do? You take the screw out, you put it back in, you hope it doesn't come out again. But it's super cool that they finally figured this out. Like, this makes all the difference in the world, having that hinge point without the bearing in it.
Yeah, it might not be as like smooth, but it will last.
I think personally that it's the most fun fidget wise. Like, just having the dual leaves moving gives you a little bit more of like a playability.
Yep. I mean, yeah, the shuffle has never done it for me, but
it's straightforward.
That's okay. Yep, it's just too simple. It's like even less fidgety than the bubble in the top beat.
And I mean,
which I didn't understand for a long time.
Yeah, it's way less. But the clicking too. I mean, you know, there's that split. Like, you're a soundless. You have a soundless preference, whereas a lot of people like myself really like those clicks. And I even like to slide things in a way where I amplify it by my motions. Everyone was so anti this clown nose, and I think it's like the best part of the whole thing is just having a little tactile sensation on the outside, breaking through that flat barrier.
Let's see. I haven't really thought about the nose thing. Yeah, I mean, it's not even comparable really to the other ones.
Right, it's not. It has more dimension to it by far. The thickness of it, the size of it in your hand, everything about it plays in a different way.
These are so similar.
And the Zerk is too sharp for me. Like the engraving on it.
Yeah, everywhere. Even these edges are sharp.
It's hot.
Actually, yeah, I just felt skin peel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really sharp. I needed like another day in the tumbler.
If it got into the tumbler at all, I
Yeah.
would say, honestly. Like, it's
Yeah.
so
Wow.
sharp.
Yep, that's pretty wicked actually. So it's sanded flat and it's got like a perfect 90.
It's flat as can be, exactly. Probably my favorite spinner of all time. Straight up.
Yeah.
Like, if you really forced me to just pick one spinner, as you guys like to do. But I would argue that there's a category for everything, because this one's not going anywhere either.
Yep. Well, that's about one bar spinner.
Right,
That's,
one bar
that's
spinner.
One, like, I guess it's a round spinner.
But then what about this one, though? That's a bar spinner, too.
Yep.
And I don't know. I'm sorry. I'd have a lot of trouble deciding. Maybe I'd abandon my marred Mokume buttons and swap it out for my nice superconductor and kind of call that one.
It'll be an awesome match.
Let's try it right now.
Yeah, I mean, Mokume is cool, but you can also, I kind of like the...
Well, the
idea of
racing
changing
stripe
it up.
is special, though. It's
It
not
is.
really Mokume in the same way that Mokume is Mokume.
Yep.
So I'm sure a lot of people have never heard this story, but if you're into Moduswork lore...
Yeah, a lot of people are probably drooling.
It actually, I actually showed up at the shop, and this bar of what we call racing stripe was literally in the trash in Jonas's shop. Like, it had all these spaces in it, and you can see, there are like little gaps
I see 'em.
in you know, and there were gaps in the materials, so he was ready to trash it, and I was like,
Make something smaller.
Well, no, he actually made 3 spinners out of it. The other
Okay.
2 he sold off in a sign-up sale or an
Nice.
auction
Nice.
as a set, I believe. And I managed to score this teeny tiny little bit of material.
Awesome.
And then I actually made these myself, which I'm
Yeah.
pretty proud of. So,
Yep.
my first lathe work ever, with some guidance, of course,
Yeah.
but
Awesome.
I think I did a pretty good job.
I mean, it's not easy to make buttons.
Yeah, didn't see, you know. I've done harder things.
Yeah. There's harder to do.
You gotta clean this bearing, Gavin.
Let's do it.
What's up?
I don't know if I might have spun it a couple times. I haven't gravitated to it, I guess.
I will say, as much as it's probably a cool match, the slim. Uh-oh. I have a lot of stuff. I don't use it all every day. I'm sorry. What can I tell you?
Heavy guns.
The mini slim really fits these bearings to me. Like, it just gives you so much clearance that the gravity feel is sick.
Oh, that's impressive.
Did you get it moving? You've damaged things around it
Not
instead.
getting moving.
Custom engraved buttons by John Ship, but Jonas
This just
like
needs a
popped them
bearing.
out of the original.
This just needs a bearing, I think.
It's probably full stainless.
It's so hard to see. Oh, it's got white ceramic balls.
Oh,
This literally feels like gravel.
yeah, I know. I spun it already.
I mean, let's go.
The greatest thing about being here is that, oh, you can't replace that bearing.
Oh, yeah?
That hole is not centered. He forced that.
Oh. Interesting.
I mean, I think you could probably replace it, but like we put like a bit in the hole and like twisted to get it to center.
I know what you're saying. Huh.
So I would be kind of terrified.
I see what you're saying, yeah. Yeah, the hole is not straight.
It's not straight. And I mean,
Oh, I see
I
it,
I
actually.
would trust you to
I see it.
change
I see
it,
it, though.
but
No, I see it. Tight here, tight here.
Maybe I just soak it in some rubbing alcohol or something and see if I can break the grid out
Maybe
instead.
I was just blasting it with some and it's still dried. Man, it's cooked.
What do we do? Really? Those balls are white?
Yep. You can just see little slivers back there behind the cage.
You see his trial balancing. So sketchy, this piece. What the hell? You should try to change it anyway, right? Because this is...
It's not spinning. But I understand the hesitation too. It can still... I mean, I guess it would.
If anyone's gonna center it, it's gonna be you.
Yeah.
People probably want to see
pocket
pocket lore.
flat things here.
This one's kind of unusual. He wasn't sure about the pattern, and this was my encouragement. The 3 muses.
All of those are just awesome.
But this didn't end up being the actual back of it. He used this as the front of another one, so this one's kind of special. I don't know if anybody's ever gotten to see these.
Not currently. No one probably even knows what they are, to be honest. You would have to be around from like 2017, 18 times, and
Yeah.
a lot of the community is from the last
3 years, 2 years.
dude, maybe even like the last year and a half. Like maybe just shy of 2 years really is a lot of
So that's
the
pocket
current
lore.
community.
Yeah.
Okay, that's centered up pretty good. Good lord, it's tight. See how it feels on the other side. The noise is driving me crazy.
I swear when I bought this volcano, I basically just bought it because I thought this was the coolest plug I had ever seen for a ring spinner.
I mean, yeah. It's got a ruby in it.
Right?
It's a big ruby too.
It's fitted in with a rubber O-ring too, so it spins in there.
Neat. Actually, I didn't realize that about these. Is this one
Yeah, it's
just
same way.
dirty?
Probably.
Oh no, it's spinning. It's just, it is a little gunked up. Yeah. Oh, there's the problem. The O-ring is...
Oh, it's not centered.
Yeah, it's like actually out.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of the reverse of what an O-ring is actually supposed to do,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah. Get it out and then back in. As I threw the air away.
It's very nice that you don't, you know, criticize me and hurt my feelings for how crusty my bearings
No,
are.
not at all. I almost admire you for how you can do this with your collection. And
Do
like,
what?
Like, let them be exposed and get dirty, and if it's dinged, it's like whatever, and...
Well, that's part of it. I mean, use is the biggest part of it. And there are some pieces, though, that don't, you know, that I just don't carry that way. It's even still.
Yeah,
Not
mine's
many,
still-
though. Very, very few.
I use the heck out of mine, though, and I still try to, like, not.
Well, we all try to not,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Go in your hole. There it goes. It's trying. Wrong tool for the job.
I think this is going to be a long video already.
Oh, it's definitely gonna be.
Do you edit?
No. Literally, like, there's no script ever, there's no... I blur out my address if I ever need to. That's about as much editing as I'll ever care to do. Like, if I just have like an accident there, I really don't. I don't want to. I don't enjoy video editing, like, to any extent.
I agree. That's part of the reason why I don't really do videos.
So yeah, for this, I just one take, upload, take a thumbnail picture, and that's it. It's kind of nice having it so simple. It actually keeps me doing it.
What else can we spin? This. And you totally ruined this for me. Like, instantaneously.
Really?
You're like, I just don't see the point of those things at all. And you're like, click, 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 click. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. This thing is stupid as anything. Why do I even have it?
Oh, God. Oh, good thing they resell easy right now. I don't know. Like, yeah, I like being able to customize stuff, but I'm like, man, I got a lot of cool fidgets, and like, I got a handle on at Blade Show at their booth or whatever, and he's like, what do you think? And I was just like, I don't get it. Like, I even told him, I was like, I don't get it. I'm not a computer guy, so like maybe that's it, but like I don't care to click a keyboard. I don't know. I just don't get it. Like, yeah.
And the interesting thing is he's not even the first person to put together this situation.
Yeah.
Like, it was really, I hate this. I mean, I wouldn't say a copy because it's not an original idea in any way, shape, or form. But I don't know. It just, seems a little weird.
Like, was it this Fanatic dude? Did he do it first?
No, this guy, I forget what the gentleman's name is, but the company is, or the Facebook group is Pixel.
Okay, I never even heard of him.
And he was 3D printing them at first, and then got somebody to make some for him, and definitely has a lot more color and a little bit more character to them.
Gotcha.
But, you know, it just, again, it's just a little box holding two key things. This one used to light. I bought these little light ups, but I guess the battery died already, which seems crazy to me.
It's like the battery under the key.
Yeah.
The key itself.
Yeah.
Tiny battery.
Tiny
probably.
little watch battery. Yeah.
I almost got this O-ring in.
You just do you.
There's got to be an easier way, but I don't know an easier way.
I mean, I think part of the problem is probably after a while that the O-ring just loses a little integrity and doesn't want to stay as circular.
Yep.
My bet would be if I looked through all of my millions of boxes, I would find extra little O-rings.
Yeah.
This is my favorite move with this. Ready? You just kind of turn this one over and
let it full back up.
Let it come back up. Nice. The magnets are powerful enough you can really get a little distance between them too.
Nice. Can't on the copper though.
The copper not as much, no. The Zerk is crisper, like I was saying yesterday, you know, like I love copper and I love weight of things too. I mean, like tungsten is some of my favorite pieces out here, but copper just has its limits. Like, what else can you say? And it's so gummy, like it's so funny knowing makers and talking to them, and like when I got this little copper plunger made, I actually had to send it back to Europe for him to repair it. Because the inside slider got, like, the groove got all mangled from the ball, and he had to end up putting like a brass ring around the hole that holds the ball in spring because the copper was just moving.
Yeah, it was too soft.
Yeah. It's weird to think that it, you know, like there was a time that they made like weapons and things out of copper because it's all they had.
Yeah. Yep. Terrible, but
You could like bend the blade if you
Yep.
wanted to.
Yeah,
If someone was
hitting-
coming
yeah,
at
like
you, you
hitting
could be
a-
like,
Yeah, like hitting a bone or something. Yeah, like what are you
that
gonna
would
do?
be
Yeah.
it. Right.
Yeah. That's a lot of work to make this thing.
Yes. I'm missing a couple of pieces here, but like those are the most special. I mean, when somebody puts hand carving into something, whether it's engraving or three-dimensional,
Yep.
to me, like the emotional energy it takes to push into something like that is just amazing. You know, it just
got distracted here.
That's why these buttons are so special to me.
That feels good. I think it is just really strong Loctite.
I mean, but that was kind of the purpose. He was like, let's just glue this thing in here.
That's fair. I have a
tight.
I have equal stuffs. Oh yeah, I see it. It's permanent Loctite. No big deal. I can replicate that.
Does your bearing removal tool have a little bearing in it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a knife pivot.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it keeps the load even.
Jasmine shush.
And it should press back in flat because of how this tool
That's what I was thinking too.
is. Yeah.
But I think it's also just to make sure that it gets centered in there because, you know, he has that little like, even though, yeah, I kind of made it. That's why it's messed up. He cut the radius around it and centered it, basically. Okay. And I got to watch him build one first, so I knew his steps.
Nice.
It was terrifying. And so much fun.
I always do a test fit without any kind of Loctite or anything first.
Smart.
You see that? It goes in. Let's make sure everything functions.
Well, that's not centered right now.
Nope, it's not. Oh, what am I doing here?
Let's see. Where's my...
Tungsten one?
Yeah.
That thing's cool.
It's hard to reflect weight over video, unfortunately.
It is. Yeah, it's like when you just have to like hold them. See if it spins.
With buttons, you're saying?
Yeah. It's kind of in there. You don't spin quite as hard as I do, so it might not need glued.
Oh,
really?
like
it actually went in, you know, with a little bit of force.
Wow.
There was still some residual Loctite. Gonna make this one in the trash too. Nice.
It looks really off center.
I can get it. I literally just squished it together.
It spins,
yeah.
But it looks
Is it skewed
like...
or whatever?
It doesn't seem like it's rubbing, but it looks like it's off. I'm pushing a little. A little vibration.
We'll see. I can probably push it from the other way. Yeah. It's COVID rare.
It's sticky. How about that sound? Do you like that sound?
I heard it a couple times. Yeah. You can literally see the deformed metal.
Ugh. a miracle that one even exists.
How is this hair still here?
It's probably not the same hair, Gavin. It's probably a whole new hair.
I'm not touching anything else. Just
yes, but his hair is everywhere. Cocoons are so nice. I should spin these.
They're nice. Did this literally just get hair in it? Like, I've literally...
Dude, I saw like 3 hairs on the back of your hands while you were doing it.
Might have been it. Let's see one. Woo! The spinner body is a little wider than the bearing itself.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It has chamfers on the edge, I believe. That it kind of is supposed to line up with, or at least his normal ones do. The lightest spinner ever. Blackwood spinner. I love it. Feels like a race car.
Are they magnesium buttons?
They are.
Yeah. Those are rare. I know Osman will watch. He's got a pair too, a full magnesium. I think it's like a mini ergo or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that he actually made spinners out of magnesium too.
It's like one of 2 or something, I think.
Cool. I wonder if the wood is lighter than magnesium.
It's tough to say. I actually don't know.
I don't either.
I'm just not sure which way to move.
I understand. It's like your worst nightmare, really, in the end.
Just a challenge. Like, it goes in so straight.
Oh, I can see it.
Oh, it's shaking.
Flip the bearing over. Maybe that'll do it.
You'd be amazed.
Oh no, I understand.
Yeah.
Every single bearing is different. I have a couple of magic bearings. It's actually this one that is the most magic. Where is...
Was it just... It had no movement before, just so I know what I'm going for?
No.
Because that's the least it's had so far.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to have to be happy with it at some point.
I just know that's where the best it's been. I can take note of where everything is aligned and then glue it back that way. Wherever we find.
I always wonder about magic bearings. Like, just something about the balls, and you have one too?
This one is just, I don't know. And it's just a ceramic bearing, but
yeah,
it's one of a lot of 20 that I got that it like doesn't slow down.
Mine is a stock hybrid Laute ring bearing. Like, it's the same as every other bearing.
Yep.
And it spins forever. It has a beautiful sound to it. It never gets anything stuck in it. Ever.
Yep.
This feels okay to me. I mean, it's probably a little wobblier than it was.
We can probably get it then. We'll still get it. Yeah, this is a good one, but it's not my favorite spinner. So like, do I leave it in here? Like, this bearing is awesome.
No, when you move on from that spinner,
Yeah.
you take the bearing with
I
you.
guess so. It's just sometimes they're never the same when you take them out of something.
It's true. It's true.
Yep.
And that's kind of the thing about this one too, is like I won't, sometimes I think about it, but I won't move it to another.
Yeah. Yep. Sometimes
It
really
is the one it is.
even a button swap sometimes can make a bearing not be magic anymore.
Thankfully that doesn't happen with this. This bearing has been, this
Good.
button has been swapped many times. What's Mark doing?
He might come down tomorrow, Wednesday or Thursday. Trying to figure it out with his
Should we
father-in-law getting Lucas.
Should we hit up Jonas too and see what
Actually, I hit up Jonas last week about coming down sometime, so we could work that out. He said he's gonna check his wife's schedule too because she's working or something.
Yeah.
So that's, but I didn't follow up. I need to follow back up with him.
Okay.
Yep.
Isn't it up too? It's not down. It's up.
To go see him?
Yeah.
No, it's like down and over.
It is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like.
Oh yeah, I guess it is.
It's like west of Atlanta, basically.
Right.
A little bit south of Atlanta. So yeah, we gotta like your perspective.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a little under 4 hours from here.
That's my drive to New York from home.
Yep.
Do that one all the time.
That's pretty good. Mark it. The dry erase, so I know what to do later.
I'm so interested to see what happens when we just drop this into the etch with the bearing on it.
It's gonna do great.
You're telling me we're gonna take it out and the bearing is still gonna spin and be like totally fine?
Yeah, it should. That I don't know, but I know it won't damage the ceramic at all. It doesn't do anything to it. It doesn't touch it.
I would wonder whether, because it is that fluid that like holds copper in it, whether copper would get coated onto the bearing.
I've used whenever I did the etching on this, it might not have been one of these, but this is when I figured it out, at least when I was etching Makume buttons. Yeah, it was this one.
Huh.
I just used a ceramic bearing on the post and screwed it together. I didn't do anything else.
Huh. And it blocked it.
Yeah, like look at the
Oh,
posts.
yeah, I know. I see it.
Yep. That's all I did. Yep. I mean, there's O-rings that I put on there too to try to protect the stamping, but that was experimental.
Interesting. Where did that ball come? Oh, it was your...
Yeah.
Gavin has put his buttons on the spinner, which...
Yeah, I literally made these buttons specifically for it. Though I want to make the same things, but maybe a 1/4 inch thicker overall.
Interesting.
Just to have a little more reach around.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a big spinner. It's a little thin.
Interesting.
I mean, like that.
I'm a big fan of dish buttons, but like, you know, I'm noise crazy, and you don't get any wider than this.
Nope, definitely not.
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Have you seen the mega pillar of the spinner? It's just it's literally a bar stock with buttons through the perpendicular. But there's one that just came out. It's tungsten. It's like 700 grams or something. It's like inch and a quarter inch tungsten. Like it's got those thick ass buttons too.
I mean, honestly, somebody posted one of those giant Modus Work bars the other day, the aluminum ones, that there were like 4 of them made or something. Yep. I want one of those things.
Be neat.
I mean, just to put it on the table and just, give it a push would be so cool.
You got trade fodder.
It's true. I don't know. I think those are a little up there. Probably not badly enough. Or I would have probably gotten it in the first place.
Yeah. I
mean, all the questions about those have been asked.
They have.
the finish of the Zerk, the etch of the Mokume, the magnets that are in them.
The same, but about as different as you can get the same materials, yeah.
It's true.
It's like a more aggressive Mokume pattern too. Even though it's etched deeper, it's like slightly more twisty.
I think he specifically picked it out to etch deeply because of how many like tests we went through. I think
this side's great.
I think it's a beautiful pattern. It really worked out well. It accentuates the depth of it, and somehow even the steps in his cut, like they accentuate it also. It all works together so beautifully.
This guy again. It's literally like nothing.
Yeah. Well, because we were talking about this yesterday, and I realized that I had that, which is like the precursor to this model.
Yep. Literally like this, and that are like the only magnetic haptic coins that are worth a shit.
That you can handle.
That I care anymore. Yeah. All the bigger ones are they don't do anything for me at all. Have you ever messed with the NJT ones? They're really good. You need to at least try one. They have a great snap and haptic, and it's good for sure.
This is my favorite one. My super expensive, ridiculous one that I just got myself dug into a hole with.
Yeah, your Zerk plate. American Zerk, I assume.
American Zerk.
Yep. Ultra premium.
Yeah.
Certified Zerk, essentially. Is what it is.
Interesting.
Yep. Now that's why it's so expensive here. It's regulated and certified.
So be it.
To be sold in America. Yep.
But the nice thing is you can always just polish them and refinish them. That's part of the wonder. I mean, it really is more your size spinner than mine anyway, to begin with.
You like the smaller stuff.
I do.
I mean, picking it up, this is the first time I picked it up in a while today, and it's enjoyable. Don't not like it. I think edging it could really help a lot.
Don't not like it. Yeah, I mean, and why not etch it? You know me. I'm not going to be like, no, don't etch my Mokume.
Yeah, we need to change the finish to look closer to properly etched Mokume.
It's like, is there anything else we can etch?
I mean, I literally wonder that every time. Like, do I want to do this?
I would.
Lightly. Like
very lightly, but enough for there's a little bit of texture. You would like it because it would give you more grip.
Yeah, I would just do it similar to this, if not even this much, but
yeah,
just some. It's just such a complicated piece, I suppose. I mean, we're about to do a Bathgate piece too, so what's the
right? And I mean, if you've got the nail polish set up and it's working, it seems like you could cover whatever you want to cover.
Yep. It needs to get done.
The problem is I think you'd lose the black in the faces.
That's fine with me. I don't even want it there in the first place. I've tried to polish it out, and it's just can't get it all the way out.
Perfect. Acid will eat it out of there.
Yep.
I wonder, though, it's going to affect the etch. But that's actually going to be kind of cool, because it'll etch less inside the faces. It'll just surface etch while it...
Yep.
Yeah, this is plenty etched. I mean, I'm a freak with my deep etch. Yep. And you are kind of right. Like, your pattern, it's similar, but it's less aggressive.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't have as, like, it's not as, like, I want to say, like, gnarly of a twist. Like, it's not as, gnarly. It's more just...
jagged.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yep.
And it's also so interesting how, like, the polish... You lose those lines. Like, they're still there on the outside.
Yep. I actually asked Jonas specifically about that, and he mentioned, like, I like my machine finish the most. That's what he said, because it shows off what I can do with a machine. And he said the polished is actually what I do for ones that aren't a good enough machine finish. Like, if he has, a couple on deck ready to go for whatever he needs to make, and it's the blemishes that get polished.
This one is blemished.
Yep. Got to polish them out. The machine finish has to be perfect. Like, there is no...
Right.
You can't smooth it out. Like it just is.
I would agree. I mean, I would say reflecting and looking at both of them, that the machine finish is nicer. And you could still oil slick that. There'd be no issue with that.
Yep. Yep, definitely not. I like the black for sure.
I mean, my body I didn't pick all the way. Jonas kind of, offered me something.
I see. We got earlier apps anyways, so.
You got time to like put little special details in yours. I was pre that point.
Yeah, I was first to come up with that shit. I was like, can
Yeah.
you put this here? He's like, actually, that's great. Yeah. I've wanted a fidget that had that kind of stuff on it forever.
I'll tell you something interesting. Your harder magnets, which you would think make more noise, actually make less noise.
2x3s, I think, have more noise because the jump
play between them.
Yeah, there's more jump between positions.
Which is what I want. But also the lighter magnets allow the plates to kind of separate from each other more when they're bouncing.
Yep, for sure.
Whereas
this stays close.
Yeah, it's tight.
Yep. Yeah, I love it. It's like a Goldilocks setup for me. Like I've went through all of them, and I've even
this one is just right.
Seriously,
wait, isn't that Three Bears?
I don't fucking know.
Oh yeah, Goldilocks and Three.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, just the right bed and just all the right temperature, all that stuff. Yeah.
And I gotta say, they're both really wicked awesome. Honestly.
Yep. They can be so different too.
Yeah.
Weren't we supposed to open yours up for something?
To move the plates the magnets inside rather than outside.
Let's go. I got it right here. It's an easy fix.
I like doing it on my magnetic table.
This is my magnetic table now.
Oh.
Still a piece of paper.
There was a piece of paper on that side too.
Nice. Well,
are they centered on the 3? Is there an inside? There's no inside and outside.
Yeah, it's even. Hang on though. All my V2 stuff is up in the house. This is all V1.
It really, like, when I flip mine and I get so much noise out of it, just moving it from here to here, say, and yours just doesn't move.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't have anywhere near as much lateral spacing. Yep, can see it. You never even knew about your message. Adam Sherry is proud to have a blim. Did you ever even see it?
Nope.
Like, it's definitely tiny. So it's got dampeners. Yeah, this one doesn't have the thing.
The paper? Yeah, I thought I had taken it out of both sides.
All right.
Well, I guess it didn't need to be moved at all.
Yep. These inserts are just I don't know what's different about them, to be honest. I haven't looked at the 2 clicks. Well, oh, I just found another piece of paper.
It's a geometry thing for me with the 2 clicks.
Got it.
I don't like the way with the 3 that it lines up side to side when you have them at a 90-degree angle for it just doesn't feel right to me. Like the magnets don't align properly. Which, I mean, it still works obviously, but I can feel it.
This has that, like, it doesn't perfectly lock in here. Yep.
And so that's why I like the 2, because the 2 to me feels like everything is really locking in a grid in a much more even way. It would have been cool if this whole process was in camera, because I'm sure a lot of people flounder with moving their magnets around.
They do. I do it a lot though. I show it. They know. God, this is so weak.
And this is
I'm
already
like-
making my hand a little sore,
I'm
honestly.
like, don't drop it. Then I like go one wheel with that thing, and I'm like shaking it.
And I mean, that is the temptation, isn't it? That's really the temptation.
That's what I want. I don't want that. If I can do this, yeah, I just.
Oh, and I mean, I send one flying all the time, no doubt about it.
Yep.
But this is just this is too much for me. And like I said, I mean, even with the haptics, like I was saying, I put the lightest touch possible. Like I'm trying to get as much sound out of it.
Yeah.
And I do the same thing with that. Like I want it to snap and click.
That's all it's got.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only way you can get that sound out of that. Whereas mine, I can get it here. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, mine doesn't.
I can get the sound at almost every motion.
I can like kind of, but it doesn't really want to.
Right. Which I can see is more preferable to you. I mean, that's exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, it's like not easy to do that. It takes a lot of force.
Well,
That's I gotta feel
to
better
each
now with
his
that
own.
piece of paper out. More noise now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. People are freaking out.
Right there.
At least it landed on the Zerk buttons.
That's like almost something to strive for.
I mean, what am I gonna do? I gotta play with this stuff. It's just the way that it is.
Yeah.
I was polishing this and I was looking at it and there's like marks all around the edge on one side.
Yeah, like case marks from the like travel probably, right?
No.
Oh, like the actual drops.
Yeah. But I mean, I also polished this one myself.
Yeah.
Like it was not. It was
full two-tone going on.
Well, yeah.
There's like greens and blues on the edge. I can see it.
Yeah, I do. I kind of do that on purpose on a couple of my pieces. This one too. I always try to like leave this.
Yeah, of course.
Because I just think
it asks for it.
Yeah, it does. Contrast. I feel like I've spun everything that anybody would want.
Yeah.
See, even that movement and sound.
Wish this material would exist again. I want to make tops from it. I mean, that's why. Like, I never got to make anything with it. Like, I want to make something with it.
So that specifically, Dean had made. It failed 4 times before he got, I believe it was like 8 inches of successful material.
Yeah, I believe it. That's why it doesn't exist anymore, because no one could make it worth a shit.
There were like 4 of those, maybe 5 made, and they went to Brett to be refinished. And there were a couple that were more blood red than this, but this one, just the pattern and the green that he did on that
exactly what I was about to say, and there's like some purple even right here
is
too.
insane.
It's a true oil slick.
And when I was given pick of those, like with them sitting in front of me at Dean's house.
Brainer.
Right, and I was like, this one. But the cool thing is, even the rest of the copper with that little bit of red on it, it has not changed at all in the years that I've had it. You know, going coast to coast, being exposed to humidity. I never polish it. I never, ever touch it.
Man.
I don't know what Brett did to it, but he is a master magician with magic.
Well, I always think of that Marlin spike you have, the Makume one. Like, that thing is just, like, sick.
It is. It is.
Yep.
With the red, like, dripping off of it.
Yep.
I wish my Marlin spikes were here, but, you know, you can't carry everything.
Yep. Next time.
Next time.
Is that chain going to be here today?
No. No, I mean, it's a holiday today, so it's not going out until tomorrow.
I dropped mail off today. They're open.
You did?
Yeah, so it could be out for delivery. I mean, I don't know if it was Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think he just dropped it off today anyway.
Oh, okay,
if that.
Gotcha.
He said he didn't want the post office to have it for too long.
I understand that.
So
I
he
don't
didn't
like
want to
shipping
drop
things.
it off
That's
on
why I ship
Saturday.
on Mondays. That's literally why I ship on Mondays, so
Right.
things don't sit over the weekend and people will be lazy and stuff. Seems to have the most success shipping on Mondays.
Let's see. He gave me a tracking number, but my bet is it's going to say that it was just...
It was amazing, those shielded bearing sounds.
I love the sound of that bearing.
I can't believe it spins and sounds the way that it does. Like, it's not peak performance for an R188, but like, it spins. Like, and it sounds like this being shielded. I just don't know how it's possible, really. Drives me. I think about it, honestly. I'm like, how does this work?
That's actually one of my special bearings. That one is
this
just
is the special bearing. Yep.
And
yeah,
that's
definitely special.
That came, I believe, that came with the spinner. That's...
Yeah, like it has always been.
No, because it was etched by somebody else.
Okay. It's even more special, maybe. Came to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to keep track of all the history of it all.
Excellent etching on that one.
Hi, Jasmine. Hi. I know you haven't had any touching in like a whole hour. That one's always a little stiffer. It's not like smooth. It's not, I don't know. It's smoother with the stainless in there, but the ball mechanism on the aluminum body, it's a little squishy comparatively.
Yep, makes sense.
I wish he would never use aluminum, honestly.
It's just not a premium. Oh, it's not a metal.
It's not a metal?
It's a metalloid or whatever. Yep, it's not truly a metal as far as elements go.
This is the only place where I feel like it works okay, because it's just...
That would be a heavy ass piece if it wasn't aluminum. Yep.
It's heavy already.
Yep.
That's right. Test it out.
Still going. Functions well.
It does.
I really can't wait to get that thing back together.
No shit, me either. I wish it was right here, right now.
Yeah, actually, I mean, we'll go do that after we finish recording this, for sure. Rather soon, I suppose.
You know, like, this should not be etched anymore.
It's perfect.
It's perfect the way it is.
Yep. Like, the pattern almost tells you when it's ready.
Yeah,
like
I
when
agree.
it's done and what's the right amount of etch, and that's perfect.
So there really is nothing. This is beyond perfect. This is like one of my favorite Mokume pieces ever. I just love the pattern of it. So yeah, that's it. Nothing.
All day.
It's so stiff. It's like so stiff. Whoa, I have a lot of messages.
After recording and I check my phone, I'm like, what just happened? It's like a time warp and people want to start contacting me whenever I can't access it. Yeah, I'm going to etch this too. I guess I need to take that apart and... I mean, I guess I can't etch it at the same time. Nail polish has to dry. It's okay. I'll at least be doing it. I've been thinking about it for like 2 months.
You should do it.
Yep. It's time.
Woo.
Well. I think we'll let that be that. It's plenty long enough.
It's got to be close to an hour.
54 minutes. I think pretty much everything got picked up that's unique, yeah.
I tried to go around and touch everything at least once.
Yep, I think we're good. Cool.